Do you need to build a client therapy portal? Well, let me show you how right now with Knack. Welcome to Knack. My name is George, and on this video, I am going to show you how to build your therapy client portal without developer knowledge, designer knowledge, and you'll be able to have an application that is custom tailored to your needs that will grow with you, and it's going to be a no-code solution. So let's get started. This is my Knack dashboard, and this is where the magic starts. Now, we have several options to get started with your therapy client portal. We can get started with a template, which is always a good idea to get started with something that's already pre-built, so it helps you get started really easily. And all we have to do is search for client, and there's a client portal. Now, this is a general client portal, which is a good idea if you want to have all the available tools that you might need. But if you need custom tailored something to your needs, I would recommend using Generate with AI. So if you have an overall idea of what you need for your therapy client portal, go ahead and describe it here to get started building it so it can get started and build your portal. In this case, I am a private therapist running a private practice, and key things that I've asked for is to have a client profiles, log session notes, track goals, upload documents. I also want to have a way to red flag clients who don't show. So all of this can be asked in the beginning when building this. So let Knack AI do its job. So let's start generating this and wait for the results. So let's go ahead and preview and edit my application that was just generated with AI with my own needs for a therapy client portal. So in this case, we are actually viewing the live preview app of the portal, and it has demo data, which helps us get started. So in this case, we have a main dashboard to view the most important analytics here. Then we have our clients. Here we go. So we got our flag status, other non-late, prayer, frequent no-shows. And this was generated because I asked for it in the beginning. We have the sessions, we have our goals, we have documents, appointments, and the therapist. So if we have several therapists available, we're going to view them right here. So this was generated with AI right now with Knack, which is pretty cool. Now let's go ahead and stop the preview. And if you need to go back to the live app, go ahead and click on live app. Now Knack generated for us 4 tables: sessions, goals, documents, and appointments. These tables were generated automatically via AI, letting us know what would be the most important tables that we need for our client therapy portal. If we need a specific table, we can go ahead and create one from blank here. Now you'll see that each one of these tables has demo data available, and it's for us to understand and to feel how it's going to work. So how each one of these columns records are going to work. Now we can view records here, and we can view fields. So if you need a clear view of what, for example, goals has as fields, you can view them right here. And if we need a specific field to make this more robust because maybe it missed something out, we can go ahead and click on add field, go ahead and name your field. Now I'm just going to say new, and then we have the data type that we can add right here. There's several of these fields available that we can use. So if we need to add an image field to add the image of the client or the therapist, etc., we can add the field right there. We can make it required and use all these available options for each one of these records. So it's super easy to create tables, and it's super easy to modify the fields too. Now, on your right, we're going to view different sections for connecting fields. And you can see here that in this case, it's goal to clients. So it's based on the user role and it's connected to clients. If I need to modify this, I click on the pencil and I'm going to get all the available options right here. And if I need to connect this to other user roles, it is possible right here. Now, if I need to add a new connection, I can do so by clicking a plus button here and creating a new connection. Next, we have users. In the user section, we're going to find the roles available here. Again, automatically generated with AI with clients, therapists, and administrators. If I need to create a new role for a specific type of users, I can do so by clicking on the plus button and generating a new role and providing the fields that I need for that specific role. Now, in this case, let's go check out clients. And in clients, you'll find that fields are dedicated for clients, and we have fields dedicated for therapists and for administrators. So in this case, we have the name, the email, the password, username, etc. Just a lot of details right here. And we even have a flag status because I asked that in AI. I want to know if it's a late payer, if it's a frequent no-show. And it's pretty cool that AI knew what I wanted and it generated for me automatically. There's notes, total sessions, there's ratings. And if I need to add more fields, I can go ahead and click on the fields button here. It's super easy to modify and add more fields to each one of these user roles. Now you got your therapist, you got your administrators, And if I need to add a new administrator, I just go click on add a user and I have the available field to start filling out the details here with the email and the password and the details for a brand new administrator. And over here on the left, we have pages. Now, each one of these pages is a dedicated page for an individual part of the portal. You got the add client page, the view client details, and several pages available. Now, be aware that sometimes these are locked and sometimes they are not. So I would recommend that you lock these so you lock certain areas of these pages. To do that, there's two ways to do it. I'm going to show you the first way, which is clicking on the settings here, and I'm going to go to protect page with login. So in this case, can new users register to access this page? So I would say yes or pending approval. Which logged in users can access this page? So specific user roles. So let's just say that this page is for clients only. I am going to select clients, but I can select therapists and administrators depending who will get access to this. And now we have a little lock right here. So that will give me the option to lock pages based on the user role, which is super important. And that's why you need to separate the user roles and have the specific user roles for setting up your pages. Now, if you want to lock all the pages, I would recommend you go into the gear icon, go into user logins, and secure individual pages with the same login. This will lock all the pages at the same time. So find out which option is the best for you and set the lock access. Okay. Next, we have the therapist client portal, which we can edit right here. Right now, the default theme is activated, but if I go to my custom theme, I have the available options to customize my theme for the client portal for the public view. So several options available here, including fonts, styles, colors, etc. You can really highly customize your look of your client portal. Then we have flows. If you want to connect automations, that is possible here to create your flows. You can do it from scratch or start from a template. And in the gear icon, which I really highly recommend that you take a look to go through each one of these settings and set up your client portal the way you want it. So there you go. That is your client therapist portal created super fast and easily with Knack. So definitely get started right now. Link provided in the description. And that's a wrap.